Hola amigos, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I was wanting to talk to you about how my self-published books became traditionally published. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Emma Bennet. I'm a UK based writer and I write contemporary romance and the occasional children's picture book. I am here today in my extremely overgrown garden, but frankly I've had no time to do anything about it, so we will say that it's going back to nature and it's good for all those pollinators. Anyway, so back at the beginning of last year, all of my books at that point were self-published. One of them I was in the process of getting my rights back from a publisher, but setting aside that, all the ones that were actually available were self-published. So and I was quite happy with that. I'd spent a lot of time working on the covers. My husband had been completely amazing designing the covers for me and doing the formatting and everything else that needs to be done to get the book looking absolutely right. And then I'd written a new book called Falling in Love at Nightingale Farm. I was really pleased with it. It's a really great story. I'm still very proud of it. And I was debating what to do. I was really enjoying self-publishing, but my husband just didn't have the time at that point to be able to help me to prepare the manuscript. And I was also struggling with the marketing side of self-publishing, and again just not really having the time to properly learn the skills that you really need to have in order to make a decent living when you are self-publishing. So I decided that I would see if a publisher was interested in my new book. So I approached one very new little publisher that I just heard about. I'd checked, it's a kind of a one-woman thing, I believe. I think she was bringing in freelance editors and things, and I checked her out amongst some Facebook groups to see what people thought of her, and it was all good. So I sent off that manuscript, and there was some to and fro, and she did offer me a contract, but I just wasn't happy with the terms of that contract. I didn't think that that was the right place for my book to go. So I thanked her very much for her time, and I was letting that one go. But then I thought I might just send it off to one other publisher before going down the self-publishing route, whenever I was able to do that, like when my husband was free to help me with the formatting and things, and when I was free to try to learn a bit more about the marketing side of things. Because the thing is, I'd also just started my YouTube channel as well, so things were really busy. But I got in touch with Jasper, who runs Joffy Books. Joffy Books are now the largest independent book publisher in the UK by title count, and Joffy Books had actually had some of my books many years ago, but I had some health problems. I had a problem with my ear and I wasn't able to write, so I'd left them. Anyway, so I got in touch with him. Hi Jasper, I'm wondering if you might be interested in having a look at this manuscript that I've got. And he replied back like straight away and said, yeah, we would absolutely love to look at it. Actually, we're really looking into building up the romance side of our publishing company at the moment, because Joffy Books are generally known for kind of thrillers and like police procedurals and things like that. So I sent off my manuscript with, you know, like a little email kind of introducing myself, because it wasn't going directly to Jasper, it was going to one of the editors, and putting a link to where my books could be found on Amazon and to my author website and all of those things. Anyway, so the editor got back quite quickly, and she said that she would absolutely love to sign Falling in Love at Nightingale Farm, but they would also like to sign for more of my romances, the full-length ones that were currently self-published, which was a real surprise because I hadn't actually submitted those books at all to them. I had just submitted the one book, and I was happy with the covers that I had. I really enjoyed self-publishing them. I liked having all the control. So when I had the offer, I really had to kind of sit back and go, okay, what is the best thing for me and my career? What is the best thing for my books? And what I decided is that I would sign all 5 books to Joffrey Books, mainly for the money, honestly, because I knew that they would be able to sell more copies than I would. So even though I would have a smaller percentage of the profits, I'd be getting a lot more books sold. So that would be really nice. I knew that they were a very good publisher. I trusted them with my books. The other side of it, though, was that by having the 5 books with them, they would be kind of making the covers all go together and making it, you know, all part of my author brand, so that they would all work together. And I thought that that would be a really good idea. And they also showed an interest in the book that I had with the other publisher, but because I hadn't got my rights back yet, I wasn't able to send that to them. But that book, which is called Her Sister's Baby, now that I have got the rights back, they have signed for that book in my latest contract that that I signed with them. When was that? Like a month ago, something like that. So that one is now with them as well. So having your self-published books taken on by a traditional publisher is by no means a common thing to happen, but it does happen. I mean, the most famous example of that is probably Andy Weir with his book The Martian, which was originally self-published. I know a lot of publishers are reluctant to take on an author's back catalogue. I had another publisher a few years ago offering me a contract for my book Her Sister's Baby, and they weren't interested in any of the back catalogue, which at that point I didn't actually have self-published. I was deciding what to do with them. You know, there are some publishers that just feel maybe that those books have done as well as they're going to, and if people wanted to buy them, maybe then they already would have bought them. I don't know, but yeah, I was very lucky that that Joffrey Books kind of saw beyond that and realized that there was a lot of scope still for those books to do very well. And you know, the more books that you have out by an author, if somebody picks up one of them and reads it and likes it, then there's lots more available for them to try out as well. So it does happen. Like I say, it doesn't happen all the time, and it wasn't even in my game plan at that point to have those books traditionally published. I will be self-publishing some more books. There should definitely be a couple more by the end of this year at least. But I think for my contemporary romances, as long as Joffrey Books want more of them, at this point I am more than happy to go with them. The cover designs that they have done are absolutely brilliant. The editors that I work with are absolutely fantastic. It is just such a pleasure to work with them. So it has really worked out for me. So yeah, like self-publishing, it works for a lot of people and it can be amazing. People can make a lot of money at it and get a lot of pleasure, even if it's not about the money, even if it's just about wanting to showcase your work, if it's just for you that you want to publish your book, and for anybody who you think would enjoy it or that it might help. There are all kinds of reasons that people choose to self-publish. And I know many people don't actually want to be traditionally published because they do enjoy that autonomy over what they produce, and I completely understand that. I also enjoyed that as well. I have been very lucky in that my publisher is very, very happy to listen to my views, to take on board what I say. It's not, you know, right, this is what you have to do with your manuscript, this is the cover that you're going to have, and that's it. It is very much working with me, which has been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's been a great experience, and I am so pleased that I am signed for another 4 books with them. Speaking of which though, yesterday I was sent my first set of edits for my book The Christmas Truce. I'm not sure if that title's staying, but I quite like it. So I'm going to have to leave you guys because I do really need to get some of that done. I hope that this video has proved useful. If you have any more questions about how I moved from self-publishing into traditional publishing, then just pop them down in the comments below and I will make sure that I answer them, and I will catch you in the next one.